an opportunity to rethink our philosophical truths and beliefs. This is a great invitation for now. We can really, really look to the feng shuists for this. We can find that we have great authenticity and great determination to pursue our own goals that we set out for ourselves with the optimism, with the joy, with the luck, with those good feelings. And we can map out and reevaluate those plans that we made for ourselves in the best possible ways. That is the gift of Mercury in the sign of Sagittarius moving retrograde, rethinking, reevaluating, redoing the things that we did in the past that didn't work for us, but they may work for us now. And so we really, really need to consider how we're doing this and how it's affecting ourselves, but also our environment, the people in our environment, the things in our environment. Looking at this becomes very crucial and critical. Now, let's break down the aspects going on November 25th and 26th. Not only is Mercury going to be going retrograde on November 25th, which will last until December 15th, Mercury will be going retrograde at 22 degrees of Sagittarius. It'll be moving back to 6 degrees of Sagittarius. You want to pay attention to between 6 to 22 degrees of Sagittarius and where, if you have any planets, points, or angles that fall in that area of Sagittarius, that is really worth paying attention to because that will give you a lot of information as to what area of life will be impacted the most by this particular Mercury retrograde transit wherever it falls in your own chart. So let's talk about that later. So let's first talk about November 25th, and the very first aspect going on is the moon will oppose Neptune. Now, when the moon opposes Neptune, it produces couple of possibilities. We may be not understanding things clearly. We may not be prone to seeing things as they are, rather how we want them to be. We're over idolizing a person or situation. We're only seeing our perception or our fantasy of what that is to be, our mental subjective oolong must and what we perceive of them as to be. We don't see them for who they really are. We don't see things for what they clearly are. And so this is about not seeing someone's negative traits, only getting caught in the positive traits, only getting caught in the traits that you say on face value, that you're not digging enough deeper to find the true meaning of who they truly are. So you're not seeing them clearly. That's what this is about. You're not seeing both the positive and the negatives. You're seeing only your fantasy from them. This can also produce a lot of confusion as well. It's important to not deceive yourselves with illusions. Do not deceive yourself. This is very, very critical that this is in place for you to case and point it. Because when you deceive yourself, you fall into martyrdom, you fall into stickledom, you fall into all kinds of dum-de-dum-dum-dums that you put yourself in. So it's very, very important that you are true to yourself at all costs, that you know, okay, I need to carve out space for me to have self-care. I need to carve out space for me to have downtime. I know that if I rush and if I try to attempt to get this done because it's due today and the deadline is 11:59 p.m., but I'm overwhelmed, I'm flushed, I'm stressed, I'm um very frustrated and all these kind of negative emotions, I need to allow myself time to relax and replenish my energy. I do not want to give up and sacrifice the time I could be spending doing the things that I genuinely want to do at this point in my day. So instead, I choose to forgo the the voluptuous, and I choose to put my four fingers into it and call it good. That's what I choose to do. This is great for spiritual practices and grounding exercises that are advised for you to do. Any spiritual practice that you can do this is a wonderful addition to your voluptuousities of what you can call your spiritual practices. So whatever grounding exercises, whatever mediumship mannerisms you can put yourself in at this time. So overlooking intuitive uses could be very, very huge with this. You're overlooking your intuitive cues and you're confusing your impulses with your intuition. If you're doing this, look to your intuition, dig into your soul, really dive deep into yourself, be present with yourself, be be present with yourself and recognize where this is coming from, where your heart is at, where your mind is at, merging these two things together to form a common bond. This is critical now. So, that is really where we leave that at this point in time. So, it's important that you address your vulnerabilities and your susceptibilities to deception, not against it, but for the actual deception to take place. So you're vulnerable and you're more susceptible to getting deceived, to getting repunctuated. This is very, very critical now. Anything you can do to satisfy your imagination, like watching a movie or reading a book or creating a film, or creating a story, better yet, is great for you to do at this time. Now, anything that requires stimulating your creativity and imagination, this is great for that. Now, Venus will square Lilith in the sign of Libra. So Venus is in Capricorn, Lilith is in Libra. You may be rejected due to sexual assaults. That may be very, very possible where this kind of rejection comes into play where you're gammoning the gamers up, the punks, and you're doing the things, the dings dings, and you're not really considering how you were rejected due to your sexual interests. It's important that you address your struggles, that you assert your independence, that you do not put yourself down for other people, that you assert your need for freedom and independence. This is very critical now. Challenges with relationships and self-worth can also come into play for this. There's issues with this. There are obstacles with this. It's important also to maintain peace and harmony versus expressing your need for freedom and independence. There may be a conflict between these two things going on here. So, um, maintaining peace and harmony versus addressing your need for independent and freedoms. So this may be in the freedom type of way for you to do. Now, Lilith is going to be the one that expresses its desires despite those desires being against society's standards. So this is about being brave and being bold and bold and bold and express your needs for independence and in duration rather. So very, very critical now. It's important to be true to yourself and open about your deepest desires. This is very, very critical that you are open as much as you possibly can, that you recognize the way that things sort of come about in your life. So recognizing your need for true, you need to be true to yourself now. You absolutely need to be true to yourself and open about your deepest desires. This is paramount. Now, the moon will trine Pluto. This presents intimacy related to undergoing a positive regeneration. Intimate relationships could undergo a positive regeneration. So it's very critical that at this point, we're understanding the certain metaphysical forms of joyous benjoyousness. So we really, really need to go through the actual process of finding the truth in what we consider to be. This is very, very critical now. It's also a time which talks about confronting difficult truths about yourself and others. This may be a part of this. There may be a deeper sense of integrity helping you follow through in your healing process as well. So you have greater integrity. Um, that's very positive to manifest. This also talks about working with emotions. This can be about directing your energy towards healing and truth seeking, not getting overwhelmed by their influence, seeing through illusions, cutting right to the truth. Positive relationships with you in a destined encounter should go very, very well at this time also. Now, another part of this is that there may be psychic protection while pushing boundaries. You may have psychic protection while doing this. This is good for psychological self-analysis as well. This is great to get a past life relation. Um, Relations are very, very huge, prominent fixtures of this. So, it's good to be driven to probe the deeper feelings of others now. Your interactions with others will be more profound than usual. Healing emotions and traumas may be very, very good at this time. Developing a deeper relationship with your mother or a maternal figure in your life can be very healing and wonderful. Um, and so the sun will sextile the moon also. So this means that your brain's subconscious and conscious parts are coming into balance now. You may find that others will recognize your self-confidence, drawing on the best of your abilities. Others are drawn to your positive and nurturing qualities now. Entertaining other people in your home should be successful. The moon will sextile Mars. So this means that there's a bringing up of excitement and enthusiasm to your relationships with loved ones. This is great for physical outlets, activities with loved ones. Anyone who feels lonely and left out can be included and can find more sustainability now, sociability. Relationships can feel rejuvenating and exciting. Emotional outbursts. Do you feel afraid to assert what you need? Do you feel like your needs are met? Being afraid to confront people to assert your needs. Confidence and intense emotions, irritability. Sun trine North Node, fortune and opportunities, chance meetings with others that steer you in positive directions, taking steps to shape your long-term path, finding your way in the best possible outcome. Things don't seem so daunting or challenging now. Shining and inspiring more confidence in others and optimism. Feeling as if what you were meant to be doing, aligning one's core essence with their path of destiny, putting yourself in situations where, with people who support your destiny. Moon opposite North Node, things are about to get messy, feeling betrayed or abandoned by others. You may lash out as others. It's important to take responsibility on your path, knowing what your allies are when you dust settles, riding the emotional waves, difficult relationships with women or mothers in your life, difficulty expressing your sensitive side, hurtful personality. Not everyone is out to harm you. Remain resilient and adaptable, expressing emotions sensitively while developing emotional stability. Now, we're going to get to the really, really important aspect occurring today, which is Mercury going retrograde in Sagittarius. So, Mercury is our planet of communication. It represents communication, thought, the delectables, the dialects, the um, collecting information. So this is about revisiting people, communications, and interactions during the first part of the Mercury retrograde, which was the pre-shadow period that started on November 7th. So take a look in your life or wherever Sagittarius falls in your natal chart to determine wherever it's 6 to 22 degrees Sagittarius falls in your natal chart to determine what was going on in your life then, what has transpired since that point. This is gonna get a review now. That um so we're reviewing things. This is a course correction, a review, and a reflection. This is what Mercury retrograde is. It brings about these things. Anything with the word re in front of it, that's what you can do. Revisit, research, reflect, review, reevaluate, rethink, re-strategize. Whatever is a reward, that's what you can do during this time. Um, we take we can take a walk back memory lane now, also. Technology may go awry as well, so that may be a part of this. Very last time Mercury went retrograde, which was August 5th, there were so many hiccups, there were so many snafus, there were so many things going wrong. The internet disconnected, it reconnected again. The phones were wonky. It was a basking hit show. And so um you know, that was just my own personal experience. So around the time when Mercury is stationing in a sign or standing still in the sky, either going retrograde or direct, it can bring about communication and technological difficulties. Um, Emails may get lost as well. So it's important that you put things in folders and you label things correctly, that you double check the details before you O to Bo to go. Mercury is not in its full power when it's retrograde. It's sort of like it put itself in a blanket and gone to sleep and gone into hibernation when Mercury is going retrograde. Although Mercury will be closer to the Earth when it's retrograde, so its energies will be more magnified. So it's very, very important to avoid signing contracts, or if you do sign a contract, really make sure that you're double checking and you're checking all the details of the conflict very, very carefully, because you may miss something super important and it may backfire for you later on in the mix. So Mercury is in Sagittarius, which is a very jovial, philosophical, and adventurous seeking sign. So this time is all about not blowing things out of proportion, which Sagittarius can do. It can make things something so small, such a huge, massive deal. So don't blow things out of proportion. Stick with what they truly are. Um, and be mindful of if you're doing this. There may be confusion with this. Things not may be clear. This is about restarting goals based on philosophical and adventurous underlings. So you're, restarting goals in this sense of the word. When Mercury is in Sagittarius, we tend to overlook the details of things because Sagittarius is such a big picture energy. It looks at the big picture, the big philosophical, grandiose plan of things. So it's important to not put the butchin up to the butcha negro, which is very, very, very important that we do not do this. That we put the butchin in the right place, that we address our needs in ways that are proportionate to the situation going on. Um, and balancing out, seeing the forest for the trees is really critical. Um, and our communication may be more boisterous with Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius. Now, I pulled oracle cards from the Mystical Shaman Oracle by Colin Baron Reed, Alberto Villoldo, and Marcelo Lobos. The very first card that I pulled, this card is for November 25th. It is card number 25, the Holy Mountain. So I'm going to read it from the guidebook at this particular point in time so that you get a general sense of what the card is about. This is what it says. Native peoples around the earth recognize mountains as places of great power where one encounters spirit where the gods or goddesses reside. In ancient Greece, Mount Olympus was the home of the 12 main gods and goddesses. In Tibet, pilgrims circumambulate Mount Kailash to bring prosperity. In Peru, pilgrims climb the ice-capped Mount um, Os Osengate to receive the starlight and bring fire to the earth. So what this is all about, the invitation here is for you to go on a voyage where you get deeper, greater perspective on life, and you get to see greater visions for your life, greater truth, deeper truth. Go on that vision, whatever it is. Journey pointed out, mucking map it out. Really, really put your nose to the grindstone and go on that path. You know, to do go on the path. Is it reading a book? Is it taking a class? Is it investing into a desk? Is it investing into a phone? Whatever it is, now is the time to go on that path. Walk and move and live your life with love and courage at this time as well. This is also good to play at an altar where others have worshipped and praying at. So find an altar and pray at that altar. Be it a calendar, be it a windowsill, be it a portrait, be it the underside of your desk, whatever the sacred place of worship is, yourself there. It's important that you are compassionate with not only yourself, but also others as well. That you are accepting yourself and others for who they are, you're respecting others and self, you're doing all the things in that kind of way. Now, moving on to November 26th. The very first aspect going on is that the moon will conjunct Black Moon Lilith. So we're becoming more enraged. Our deep desires and subconscious dreams, rage and despair. Rage is bubbling up to the surface, our inhibitions gone. Feeling rejected by those who can't keep up with our highs and lows right now. Rebelling against anyone overprotective. Intense emotions come to the surface, integrating the parts of yourself that you previously denied. Moon square Venus increases your need for pleasure through love and affection, seeking pleasure through activities that bring you joy to or through friendship, making extra work to please your lover, likely to clash with loved ones, correcting unstable relationship patterns, seek peace and harmony, don't get together with strangers now, don't get too intimate with strangers. Several tests in order to ensure that there is mutual love, respect, and loyalty. You may overdo pleasure now, overindulge in such things, greed and laziness, don't become complacent. When trying Jupiter, greater faith in spirituality, getting involved in promoting charitable work, going to events and having fun, desire to nurture, good optimistic feelings, a great time to be more open about your feelings, great for socializing, great for relationships with women, meditation, religion, and spiritual practices, emotional comfort and support from family and friends, enlist the help of famous and other influential people, moon opposite Chiron, don't suppress your feelings, people feeling more activated than usual. Healing will require a deeper look at past wounds, bringing your wounds to light, integrating your wounds, modalities of healing, self-compassion, self-acceptance. Healing isn't linear, have patience with yourself. Now, the card that I chose for this day is the card number 31, the lower world. So let me find it here. I'm going to read it. The lower world holds the hidden treasures of humanity. It is a place of rich and fruitful darkness where we can find the disowned parts of ourselves and the abandoned aspects of our psyches. The lower world is the place of our ancestors, where we discover the gifts and lessons from the past. It is the realm of the collective unconscious. Here we can meet our demons and transform them into pure energy, our source of personal power. This is about finding the beautiful parts of yourself that you've kept hidden from yourself. What are those beautiful aspects of yourself that you want to express out into the world that you keep hidden from yourself because you're afraid that people will judge you for expressing these things? This is a time to find those qualities. It could be red sauce dripping. It could be light creating. It could be oracle cards. It could be a writer. It could be a builder. Whatever it is that those hidden talents, those hidden beautiful, wonderful parts of yourself that are so right-brained and creative and beautiful, time to bring those things out for yourself and others to look at authentically, bringing those out into the light. This is about expressing those aspects of yourself openly and unapologetically that you've hidden from yourself, that you deny from yourself, that those are not parts of yourself when they actually are parts of yourself. Don't go small for others to like and accept you. It's very, very critical. This is about learning about your ancestors, possibly doing DNA tests, doing 1, 2, 3s, maybe doing the things, maybe doing a 23andMe test. Maybe it's learning about your ancestors, where they come from, how they lived, how they perished, what their legacy is. This is how you can do that. Honoring your past is what this is about. Honoring your past is very, very critical that you do this at this time, is honoring your own individual past. Is it going on a pilgrimage? Is it riding up a bike? Is it throwing a purple wall to the wall? Whatever it is, honor that past. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.